Hi humans! I was going to make a quick video showing you how to do today's directive for those of you who didn't make it to group. It's a rainy, dreary day and mental health days are important. So thank you for being self-aware and noticing that you needed that time. But in case you wanted to make the dolls, I will show you how really quick. It was just a lot easier than having to type up instructions and you can't see, and it's a whole thing. So what you're going to need to make these dolls is some aluminum foil and some masking tape. For decorating the dolls, all of you should have paint utensils and acrylic paints in the bags that I gave you for previous sessions, as well as, I'm trying to remember what else I put in there, a printout of facial expressions if you wanted to give your doll a personality, and you can draw those facial expressions on there with a Sharpie. So, okay, so I'll just get started. You're going to need a lot of aluminum foil and a lot of tape. So I would suggest one of these per person. First, you're going to pull out a piece about this big, just like a good size, maybe about the size of a basketball. And you're going to, actually I think it would be better for me to just show you. You're going to make a piece like this. It's going to look like an egg with like a little point to the top, but I will go ahead and create one with you. So you're going to have to apply a lot of pressure and really push down the aluminum foil. And it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. Once you get your entire doll formed, you can really use your fingers to press down. And at any point, if you don't like the way it's shaped or it looks funny, you can just cut off a little bit of aluminum foil and add to that. So this is not quite an egg shape, but it'll do. So this is going to be the base of your doll. It's going to be the very bottom. So to create the torso, you're going to rip off a piece that's a little bit bigger. So the size of your basketball and then some. This is also why I couldn't type it up, because words. I'm just better with images. So this is going to be your body. And what you're going to do is you're going to place this little egg, heavy side down, into the foil and scrunch it upward. So you're going to want to make sure the bottom is flat so that your doll can stand upright. So take it and push it down on a hard surface so that it gets a good little base formed. And it helps if you push in the waist just to give it more of a figure form. And then this part up here will be the chest, so it can be a little bit broader. But again, you just want to make sure that you press everything in pretty tight. Okay. And again, doesn't have to be perfect because you will be wrapping tape around all of this. It's got like a weird little, it's okay. Okay. And then, so here we have the torso and the base. So now we are going to create the head to go on top of the torso. And what I usually do is hold on to these bottom pieces. Oh, you need a small little sliver for the head. It's about maybe a third of a basketball size. You're going to want to hold on to these bottom slivers and scrunch up this portion. Just kind of mold it into a round shape, but that will be okay for now. And then you're going to attach this part to your torso. I would just secure the two fly pieces around the torso first, and then you can squeeze in a little bit to create your neck. And then just kind of tighten the head from there. It may look like a weird alien right now, but that's okay. And again, if you don't like, I need to come up with a new word for and again also. And again, just a reminder, talking to myself because I'm weird with videos. Okay. So, here's my little alien. It's got a little heavier base, a waist area, torso, and the head. And again, you can, I'm over it. You can keep pressing down and establishing a base. We've got the head, the weird little body. So now we're going to make the arms. You're going to cut kind of the same little sliver that you cut for the head. And what you're going to do is this time, where last time you held onto those end pieces, you're going to keep the middle piece flat and scrunch the sides. So scrunch first, and then just kind of flatten the center. As long as you have some kind of flat piece on the back, in the middle, it's okay. So you can then start twisting these arm pieces so that they tighten. And just continue to press in. Get them as tight as possible. Twist. I probably won't keep this video up for long just because I'm weird and awkward, and once y'all watch it, it doesn't really serve a purpose anymore. But I will leave this up for about a week, maybe 2, probably till this group has ran all the way through. And while you're creating your doll, you really want to focus on the energy that you're putting into it. Typical art therapy. But really, whatever you create, whether it's a mosaic or an art response or a doll or a book, whatever you create, all of your energy goes into it. So if you're having a bad day and it's just a weird, rough, awkward, be aware of that and take some time to step away. Maybe it's not the best time to create. Maybe you need to do it at a later date, or just take a couple minutes to yourself, couple hours, couple days, whatever you need. Because you don't want to always look at this image or doll, symbol, whatever you're creating, and have a negative association with it. So always put in good energy to whatever you're creating, unless you need to release something. If you're creating something for the sake of burning it or destructing it in some way, at that point you can get all that negative energy out. But since this is a doll, I want it to be a happy, good doll. Okay. So we have our little torso, and I've smushed my arms as tight as they would turn. And it's okay if they're not perfect. They will appear more like arms soon. So take a little, the area of the top shoulders, like in between the shoulder blades, and press it down just a smidge to flatten it out. And then that is where you're going to place your arms. And it kind of looks like shoulders. So it serves multiple purposes. So you push flat there. Then you're going to have your little arms. So what I'm going to do now is take a piece of my masking tape. And we are gonna, it's always so weird when I'm talking to myself and I don't know what to say because I really love the humans, and when they're not here, I don't know what to do. Okay, so where you flattened down your piece, You're just going to take a piece of tape and crisscross it. So you're going to go over one shoulder blade. Did y'all see what I did? I'm also ready to be in person so that we can see each other's creations and it's not in this weird little box. Let me show you again. So, this is the front, this is the back. I'm going to take and crisscross another piece of tape to secure the arms in place. Okay. And because I'm a little crazy and I like to put extra tape, I want to make sure it's extra secure. I'm going to put a little bit under, if I can find it, a little piece under the doll's armpits. So, just going to wrap it under the chest and around the arms. Not around the arms, around the torso, underneath the armpits. So now you have a doll. And at this point, if there's any part of the figure that you don't like, maybe you want the head a little bit bigger, maybe you want to design a dress on it, you may want to add pieces to the bottom, maybe you want the chest bigger, you can just pull off some little pieces and add them wherever you would like. If you can't get the bottom flat, maybe add some more aluminum foil to the bottom and just press it as hard as you can onto a table or chair or hard surface and get it to where it can stand on its own. I do know this one's struggling, but I do know with this one it took me a while to get it flat enough. So now, once you get your doll to a place where you feel comfortable with it, and you can move it more once you get the tape on it, so if you don't like the arms where they're at, you can move it later. If they're too long, you could trim them a little bit or just push them down further. So what you will do is you will take the tape and just wrap it around the doll until every piece of aluminum foil is covered with tape. And as tight as you possibly can, just so it secures it. Which, before you get to this point, try to press down as hard as you can so that it's pretty sturdy already. But if it's not, like mine's a little wiggly in places, you can use this time to secure it. So you're going to wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap. And during this time, we would talk about how your week was and what's going on in your life and how you're feeling and what this process is like. Is it weird? Is it aggravating? Is it fun? Are you excited about it? What do you associate the doll with? Is it to you, is it a child? Is it someone you've met before? Maybe someone you wish to become? Or just like a really fun feminine figure, maybe a masculine figure, whatever you need. It would be fun for us to hear each other's experiences. Words today are no good. Don't like them. So I was going to wrap, and we would talk, do all the things, but I'm going to cut it short. So you'd wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap, and take the pieces and go around the arms, go around the head. Oh yeah. So if you want to give your doll hair, you could always paint it on there once you get it wrapped in tape. Or you can create, with a small piece of aluminum foil, you can just smush it up and create a little ball to give it a little a little ponytail or like a ballet bun. I haven't experimented much with long hair on these dolls, but I have a friend who will create small strips and wrap them, just like cover them on both sides in tape and then cut them so that they can attach a ponytail, and they'll have little dangly pieces behind them. But for me, honestly, it's just easier to paint pretty flowy hair on my doll, or choppy purple. I love purple hair. This is your creation, so whatever you want or need it to be, you can create it that way. So once you get your doll formed, you will, ew, there's a dog hair. You can still move however you would like to move it. I kind of like this weird, I don't really know what this pose is, but just like a, I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it at this point. But what I suggest, once you cover, see, every inch is covered. You cannot see any aluminum foil at this point. I would cover the entire thing with black acrylic paint so that you make sure all of the white is covered, just because it is easier to paint over black than it is white. That might not make any sense, but let me explain why. When you're painting the dress or the skirt, shorts, pants, whatever you want on your doll, you won't always be able to see these little pieces of white to cover them up. But if you see an area of black, you're going to know it's not covered with your paint. So if you prime the whole thing in black, it's a lot easier to form images or an outfit from that. I printed out an expression page in your kits, and you can use any of those expressions to give yourself a face, give your doll, whatever this is for you. Give your creation a face, or maybe you just want to give it eyes or a mouth. At this point, it is yours. So again, focus and reflect on what this process was like for you. Was it difficult to follow all the steps? Was it frustrating? Was it fun? Was it exciting? Just be aware of what you're feeling in this moment. And I hope you all have fun creating this. I look forward to hearing about your experience next Wednesday. Today's Wednesday? Yes. Next Wednesday. And I hope you have fun. See you guys soon. Bye.